I have Mercy Boko. Poit, Poit ni papa ya Wahatola marehemu mwenye alipatanga accident kitambo. Stepata, Nicholas Pitt. Yes, sir. So with that, sir, I don't have much to say, but maybe we came back. But I promise you, we shall perform well. Kwa sababu unajua wanasemanga kuparticipate ni ya maana na kuwin tu. So sir, hawa wote wali attain world standard. Kwa sababu huwezi enda tu kama usipoqualify. Yes sir. So with that few remarks, sir, I say thank you, sir.
Murkomen Kichumba. I was so excited because I know what you are going to do for us. Otherwise, I don't have much to say at this time. I want now to invite our Senior Vice President, Athletics Kenya, so that he may invite our President, Athletics Kenya, to give his speech. We people of athletics, we don't speak much, mambo yetu ni kiwanja.
Very good.
But let me tell you from the bottom of my heart, we are very happy. Thank you, PS, for the support you've been giving us with our CS. Our Senior Vice President, Karibu. Thank you.
Asante sana, Madam Intani, Safeguarding Officer. Our chief guest is together with our peers and our president, together with the other guests around, athletes pamoja na the officials. Hamujambo. Yangu sio mengi isipokuwa bwana chief guest, mimi ndiye Senior Vice President of PRESIDES Kenya, na I'm in charge of competition, and at this capacity, sir, I would like to welcome you to this team, and as I do that, I want to appreciate that even before you were given this opportunity to be the leader of sports in Kenya, I think you used to be with us.
Yes.
So that now it is very good. In fact, I talked about it to a certain group. I think it's like now we have the correct person. So, sir, we are very happy, and we would like also to appreciate that we are seeing you with our team at Paris. We are very happy about it. At least I do not want to dwell on this, except that we have our president here who has every detail to properly explain what it is all about. And at this juncture, I would like to please ask you, sir, our president, to please rise up and lead the occasion. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Paul. Bwana Waziri.
Yes.
Bwana PS, the chairman of this area here. Naona Bwana John Macron here. Bwana Waziri, this is your first official visit to the team in Athletics Kenya. So allow me, because of this, this first occasion, to very warmly welcome you to come and see this team that is going to Lima, Peru, to go for the World Under-20 Championships. I also want to say that we are very grateful. We are very happy that you have come to join us, as he says, because you have always been with us.
Thank you.
And we want to welcome you officially to Athletics Kenya, being your first function that you are attending here today. These young men and women are the ones going to represent this country. This guy here, Edmond Serem, is a brother to another Serem who was in the Olympics. Oh, okay. The elder brother was running steeplechase in the Olympics. He also ran and he wanted to qualify to go to the Olympics. But then I think he left it to the brother, elder brother.
Yeah.
And the elder brother also qualified through under-20.
Oh, very good.
So it's not by luck.
Yeah.
These under-20 championships, Bwana Waziri, this is the 20th edition of the World Under-20 Championships, organized by World Athletics.
Okay.
We have had quite a number of athletes who have gone through this program here. Mm-hmm. People like David Rudisha, in 1996, he won in China while he was under-20.
Yes.
Faith Kipyegon, the same. Beatrice Chebet, exactly the same. And all these other people who have gone through there, Wanyonyi. You saw Wanawaziri Wanyonyi yesterday running in the Diamond League in Rome. He is now the second fastest in history in 800 meters.
Correct.
1:41.11.
Only 20 seconds to world record.
To world record. So maybe he's going to challenge Rhodesia's record now, because he's also running very well. So they have all come through here. Mary Moraa came through this program here. We used to have what you call World Under-18, which we hosted here in Nairobi in 2017. And that is when we discovered all these young runners. So we maintain that program because it's very important for us. Absolutely. The under-18, under-20 are the ones who are actually our future. Absolutely. And that is why, Waziri, we want to thank you and we want to thank the ministry for assisting us to have camps in every part of this country. This is where we discover these fellows. Every now and then when we have camps, because we have them every school holidays. And we want to maintain that because the ministry and the government have supported us in this, so that we can continue looking at the new talents, or discovering the new talents, and then we nurture them from there. In athletics, Bwana Waziri, we cover all the categories of athletics, starting from kids athletics. Kids athletics starts from year 4 up to 14. And that one we also organize that through the school system. Then from there, when they qualify into what you call the youth, which is now under 18. The moment you get into 15, you actually qualify to be under 18. And then as they graduate from there, they now graduate into this under 20. And when under 20 graduates, they graduate into the senior. Now the ones who were in the Olympics the other day are now the seniors. And when they retire, they also qualify into what you call the masters. And I think our masters team actually, as we are talking here, are in Gothenburg in Sweden. And I think they are coming back. Mr. Ajogi here gave them the flag when they were going. And they have done very well. They already have, I think, 11 gold or something like that. We've been following very closely. So even those who have retired, we still make them, very active in competition. And they get very excited when they meet their colleagues whom they used to run together when they were active. They have gone to Australia, they have gone to Spain, and so forth and so on. So now they are in Sweden for the World Masters Championships. So we cover the whole spectrum of athletics, from the beginning up to the end. Before this team was selected, of course we had quite a number of them who came for that selection, and they competed from every part of our country. In our country, Bwana Waziri, we have subdivided our administration into 12 regions to cover all the 47 counties in the country. So those ones which have been grouped into 12 now come together, and they select their team, they come together, then we select the team like this. So this is now the national team. I also want to thank you, Waziri, and the PS for having considered to fund this team as they are going out. Everything that they have gone through, including even staying here because they have been training here, air tickets, allowances, and all that kind of thing, it has all come from the fund. And I want to thank you for supporting this team because of that. So we want to wish them all the very best of luck as they live, and as they have said, we are going to wait for good results because the government has done everything possible. We want to see the returns now because that is the return. That is the return. And of course, as for you, you are also going to qualify as you prepare to qualify to the senior. Then you are going to test yourselves. Si ni kweli? Mnaenda kutest wale wengine. Dunia mzima iko huko. Those of you who have never seen the rest of the other athletes, now you are going to meet them there. Na hakuna kuokopa, unaokopa nani? Hakuna mtu ya kuokopa huko. Kwa sababu wewe umetrain, hata wao wanaokopa wewe. So wewe umetrain, wewe uko tayari. So go and do the best you can, and then come back. We will also be there to see you. I'll be Bwana Waziri, I'll be going there on the behalf of all athletics to see them through because of the program that has been set there. Otherwise, as I finish, it is important that we thank God you go well, you go safely, have the safe skies. Unajua hata kutembea na ndege saa nyingine sio kila mtu anaingia kwa ndege. Si ni kweli? Nani bado kuingia kwa ndege hapa?
You're flying for the first time.
The first time, unaona? Nani mwingine?
Msiogope.
Kuna wengi, unaona?
My first time I was 24. Congratulations.
So well done. That's another achievement. So, Bwana Waziri, without further ado, allow me very kindly to ask the PS, because he has supported us so much. The PS has really been very supportive as we were discussing about all these other issues and so on. He has put in a lot of effort and a lot of ideas. So, please proceed. Please, Bwana PS. Okay.
Thank you very much. Oh, okay. I'll help you. Sorry? No, they just want this one. Me too. Oh. Najua mtu yao ya mkono. Wewe unatuma waziri Sorry. We apologize. No. We don't usually behave like this. Na ingine. Yote mbili. Okay. Now, thank you on a very serious note. Thank you.
I requested that you sit down so that the cameras can protect you.
Oh, okay. That's better? Thank you very much. Looks like a press conference. Thank you, Chairman, Mr. President, with a small p, for those very good words that you've given us this morning. Waziri, let me on the onset again welcome you to your first official function in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports.
Thank you.
And let me also take this opportunity, like many of us have said, to congratulate you and say thank you to His Excellency the President for having, realized that you are the right person
to come and steer this ministry to the next level. I think we clap for that very good gesture by His Excellency the President. Waziri, you have been in this space for quite some time. And for those of you who might not know, he's an athlete in his own right. Not that he does the races like many of you might be doing, but he's been a football player. He's played for this country in very many other respects outside. And I think, again, we want to thank you for having been a patriot in spirit, insofar as issues to do with sports are concerned. And therefore, for me, I'm looking at a very positive change in the management of the affairs of the sports and youth in this country going forward. Before I proceed, I will just ask the team from the Ministry of, from the Department of Sports, just to stand so that you can be able to see who is here with us, who have accompanied you. We have the director himself of sports, the DG, where is he? He's gone out. He was here, he's just stepped out. Yeah. We have the DG Sports Kenya, Mr. Pius Meto, who is now our host officially here. We have the chairman of the board. Can you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much. PS, my name is Peter Njuguna Gitao. I also welcome you here. This is home. Na ningetaka kushukuru vijana pia wale wanaenda kuwakilisha nchi hii. Mjisikie mko nyumbani hapa kama Sports Kenya. You are under the request of the PS and the president, athletics. You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana.
Asante sana.
Again, we have my SA, Secretary Administration. Just say hello to them.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
All the best team.
And then the other team members, Waziri from the ministry. So mine will be very brief because today is your day. This is a very big ceremony. Let me just also recognize Athletics Kenya. Waziri, when you come to the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, and particularly the Department of Sports, let me say it is a very organized department. Organized because when you look at the engagement, particularly federations, they do it with military precision. We had said that we would be here at 11. We expected you here at 11, and you came at 11. And you found that everybody was seated, and everybody was waiting for the address. And within 1 hour, it is expected that this ceremony will be over. So the discipline that sports and sports persons seated here today is quite high. And that is probably the reason why Kenya became the second in Africa in terms of the medals that we got in the world. The first in Africa and the second in the world in track events because of the kind of discipline we've had in this country. So let me take this opportunity also to thank Athletics Kenya and more so the federations that could be here present or elsewhere because of the good work they have been able to do. Because when you look at all football, the under 20, the under 17, and everybody else, you realize that they are doing a good job. But specifically because today we are dealing with athletics, let me also take this opportunity to thank those of you who have qualified. And they usually will say, because you qualified to be in this meet in Peru, we expect that you've trained yourself sufficiently to be able to beat everybody else that you will meet wherever you go, right? The other day when the CS was brought in as a CS for our ministry, he came and we won 2 gold medals on the same day. Now imagine he has come here when you are preparing to leave to Peru. What are you people going to do? This is just to win. Yeah, because I was telling you, in the African language, you usually say that when you come in and you find people are partaking of food or they are winning some kind of competition, then you've come in with good legs. Do they say that also where you come from? Yeah. So again, he has come in when you people are going to win. And when I was speaking to the president yesterday, before we organized for this meeting, he was telling me he's seeing a lot of gold medals with you people. And then lastly, Waziri, as you come in, it is also important for the nation to know that the ministry is very intact. And it has begun to look up. You can see what we've been able to do. When you look at the expenditure that we've used for those who went to Paris for the Olympics, it was the most minimum this time round. But the performance improved drastically, right? There was no noise. We gave out the list. The number of participants, officials that went were those core officials that were required by law in the sporting activity. Again, for the first time this time round, Waziri, on Safari Rally, this is the first time we spend the amount of funds. Why? Because the federations now have come back together. They are looking at what we must do together. Spend less, but have maximum impact. And I remember before you joined us, you used to encourage us to go that route because you are a friend to the ministry. And in our meeting when we met for the first time, you also emphasized the same. We want to assure you that we will continue supporting you, we will continue cooperating with you to ensure that at the end of the day, this ministry shines as one of the ministries that is cost-effectively running its affairs, and it is going to do exploits in terms of the meets that they are going to undertake from now going forward. With those very many remarks, allow me therefore then to welcome you so that you can be able to address this gathering.
Bwana PS, Engineer Peter Tum, the president of the AK Kenya, General Tuei, the leadership of the Sports Kenya led by my friend, the chair, Mr. Gitau, and the CEO, Pius, and the rest of the ministry officials who are here, our coaches, our managers, coaches, and the athletes. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? It gives me great pleasure to be here this morning to witness this very important ceremony of releasing you officially to go and represent our country. I am also privileged to be doing this as my first assignment as a Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports. I am very excited by the opportunity to be able to serve in this ministry. And I truly enjoy sports. And I was very happy that my first assignment was to be in Paris with our Olympics team. And for the team that is here, I am a fan of athletics, you know, and so I don't watch anything else on TV. I only watch sports throughout my life, even throughout my political life. I don't want to offend the journalists who cover other news. The good news is that these are sports journalists. I don't watch the other things you usually report. I only watch this one. This is the most important event. When you leave your country, and I've always said this, even for us who are in political life and government, we can have our different political and social, cultural appreciations of everything we do within the country. And everyone has a right to hold a different view when you are in this country. But when you cross the border, either through the airport or the land or sea, we are all ambassadors of our great country called Kenya. And so we are not sending you out there just only to compete. Just know that you are our brand ambassadors. You are the image of your country. You are not a small person as you think at the moment. You may be coming from a small village. This is your first time to take a flight. As I said, my first time to take a flight, I was 22 or thereabout. And you may think that it's just you are on a trip. It is fun. It's okay. But let me tell you, you are going out there. The only thing people will see in the entire world is that how is Kenya? How are Kenyans competing? How do they look like? Where is this country where people are winning gold in this manner? So we are sending you forth to go and represent your country. And therefore, from the president, from myself, from the cabinet, from the people of Kenya, we would like to really say that we wish you the very best and we look forward to you coming back home with all kinds of medals. And if possible, with all the medals in the areas you are going to compete. I want to thank the PS Engineer Toom for the work he has been doing in this ministry. I want to thank my predecessor, even if he's not here, Honorable Babu Namwamba, for the work they have done with PS Toom and the leadership in the ministry, for making sure that they facilitate our sports, and for laying the foundation in terms of establishing proper grassroots institutions, including sports academies across the country, to make sure that we identify the right people to go and compete. That is a job I recognize and I appreciate, and I come to office to work with this team which is here to enhance that grassroots approach towards identification of talent and nurturing and growing talent, so that every other time we do not depend on the intuition of the athletes or the coaches or the lack of students just competing in schools, but there is a deliberate approach towards identification of that. And I want to thank the ministry for supporting those efforts. I want to thank AK through the president who is here and the team that is here for the job they have done well for the last years, and particularly the last few years when they have really focused on grassroots identification of the team. And well done, Mr. President, for a good job. I suspect that the reason why PS was saying that the PS was saying that things are done with precision, he only feared to say with military precision, because General is the president of AK. And I think this kind of discipline that comes with sports can only be found in our armed forces. And I want to say thank you very much for a good job. Going forward, this is an area that we have agreed. As you know, General Tuea is also not just president of the AK, but also vice president in the World Athletics. And so we have an opportunity and to leverage on his leadership at the international level insofar as sports is concerned. And we are very happy for that. We want to thank NOC and this leadership also, Paul and the team, for a job they did very well in the last Olympics, and the work they do to support the other federations under them. And this is really very commendable. We have also agreed with General Tuea that we'll sit down with the team in AK to think about the future of the institution and how seamlessly we will continue building in the transition and leadership and growth of our young people, and also mentoring other leaders who come in. We want to see that even when transition happens in AK, it moves seamlessly, and people who have grown through the athletics without any chaos are taking over and growing, and you know, the institution is growing. And I want to thank General for also that very great gesture. Let me say this, that as a ministry, we will continue establishing more sports academies across the country. We will identify relevant areas for different sports. For football, the areas we'll do with football. For the athletics, we will do what we need to do in athletics. I want to say, without fear of contradiction, having consulted AK, that there are schools that are already doing very well in establishment of athletics. And we want to go there and support those schools. As a ministry, even with the little resources we have, we will find ways of supporting those schools, perhaps to even prepare their training grounds to look better, and then for them to be able to access better training facilities. This we will work with the Ministry of Education. This is a collaborative effort, but we will see how we can extend that support. I know a number of schools personally, since I schooled in one of them, that have a bias towards establishing a training ground for the athletes. We want also to encourage a Ministry of Education. This is something you will see me with CS Migos. We must formalize our engagement between sports and education in terms of a memorandum of understanding to see how the certain schools will give full scholarships to athletes so that they don't think about school fees. They go to those schools and their focus is education and train for the different disciplines that they want to participate in. That way I will establish and earmark those schools to become schools of excellence in whatever sport they choose. If it is athletics, if it is football, if it is rugby, if it is basketball, if it is tennis, if it is swimming, we need to take advantage of the infrastructure that's already existing in schools to make sure that we grow talent. I know these young people have grown to where they are because of the communities and the schools that they have gone through, and the work that was done by their coaches who are teachers in their schools. And we must be able to support and recognize their effort. The other thing is to say that Kenya is very competitive in athletics. For these young people to qualify, if you qualify to go, yeah, you have already done half of the competition, yeah? But we are not telling you to sleep. There are other countries that are also copying us and training and so forth. One of the things I've been told since I came to office is that what is lacking in training of athletics is science, is scientific, applying science towards athletics, and therefore provision of facilities that can have equipment and technology and training that is commensurate to the times that have changed so far. To that end, as you very well know, after this I will be visiting the facilities here, what we are doing in Kasarani, and Nyayo Stadium and Talanta Stadium at Ngong Road. And we want to make sure that all the stadia that are built in the country, whether by private sector or by county government or by national government, meet particular certified standards, so that nobody will build a stadium without getting the certified standards. Otherwise, we will have the situation where in the first term of county government, so many county governments build a stadia that not last even 5 years. Even the Tatan did not last 1 year. Yet public resources have been expended, and yet we don't get benefit as a nation. We will be, as a ministry, soon gazetting the standards of building a stadium so that we certify that stadium and we identify and publicize, so that when you have a training in any region, we can tell you in Iten, you have a Lona Kiblagat Stadium, it is certified, you can train there, this is the fee they charge, you can be able to train your athletes there. We have Camarin Stadium, it's a public facility, this is what we train, this is what is going to happen. I'm just using that as an example because Camarines has been in the public scene for a long period of time. So this is something we are going to do for the status of the stadium. Number 2 is to make sure that after we complete all these projects that we are doing, we provide necessary facilities, the gym and the equipment that are required for us to train our athletes properly. We have been told that Kenya has lost its trademark sport, which is steeplechase, because we've not provided enough training facilities for us to train our steeplechasers. And that is something we are going to make sure that we identify those places and specifically support them for specific sports that require specific facilities. For example, I'm wondering why pole vault is not being athletics. They just want to go and support our teammates. You are beginning to call them joyriders. You know? Sometimes some also go because of their responsibility to water athletics or Olympics. That again, we must be able to support them. We must support all our fans. And I want to request, if there are Kenyans who live in Lima in Peru, and they work there, please come to the stadium the day our young men and women are running. Yeah? This is the time we depend on our Kenyans in diaspora to come and cheer these young people. Let me tell you, when I was in Paris and you see Kenyan flag, you feel so proud. And you see somebody who is not a Kenyan, a Mzungu, not Mzungu Kenyan, Mzungu of another country, you know, holding the flag there and saying, Kenya, go Kenya, go Kenya. And you see it is really motivating and encouraging to athletes. I think this is an area that we can grow our patriotism as a nation. I want to say also that there has been general debate about selection of the team. This team has been selected, and I have been shown through the process they have gone, they have been selected competitively. There are also more than 100 athletes who, if we leave them, they would still qualify. And they are Kenyans. So Kenya is not an easy place to qualify. There are other 100 who could run, who would have been in this trip, but these 22 are representing the many others who would have qualified. Kenya being competitive has led to a situation where some of our athletes have chosen to either live in other countries or run for those countries. And for avoidance of doubt, as you see as transport, we have no problem with any Kenyan who chooses to run or live in another country. We do not. And this is not the first time that has happened, because I've seen the recent debate. When I was in high school, Wilson Kipketer decided to switch allegiance from, and he was a St. Patrician, like myself. He's a St. Patrician like myself. He switched nationality to go to Denmark, you know. Lorna got married in Netherlands and ran for Netherlands. Bernard Langat moved to US, settled there, is now runs for US. Chelimo, my friend Paul Chelimo, you know. We have had many other athletes that have run for other countries. We used to have Stephen Cherono, who moved to Qatar, and Qatar almost supported us to build a good stadium. If it was not for just bad politics and people are saying, oh, you know, we would have had a stadium. Athletes going to look for opportunities abroad is equal to the labor we are exporting to go and work abroad. They should not be ostracized. Those athletes must not be picked and ostracized. They must be supported the same way the president is supporting export of labor from this country to another country. So our sister Yavi has our full support to run for the country she's running for, but she must know we will allow athletes to run for other countries, but we will beat them. It's just unlucky. We were just unlucky the other day she beat us. But in terms of supporting them to run for another country, that's a choice. Labor migration in the entire world now is not an issue, and particularly for Africans like ourselves, it's not an issue we should use to fight any of our citizens who gets an opportunity to run abroad. That competition that we get with them, and in any case, kama wewe ni Mkenya na umeona Mkenya mwenzako anakimbilia nchi nyingine, mnajua wote wanatrainia hapa na hawa. Ile pesa yote wamepata, mnaona anajengea mama nyumba, anaanza biashara hapa. Hiyo pesa yote inarudi hapa nyumbani. Sasa wewe shida yako ni nini bwana? Sisi ni kuhakikisha wale washaenda waende wangangane, lakini sisi wenye tumebaki tupige hawa, you know, tuwashinde hawa, so that we make sure that we give more opportunities to more athletes that are going to run for our country. So therefore, tunawategemea sana, tunawatuma katika jina la Yesu, muende mshindane, msipate injuries, ya mpate nafasi ya kukuwa nambari moja kwa zote. Nyinyi pia mko vijana chini ya miaka 20, tunawategemea kwa Olympics 2028, ya. Sasa msichukulie hii kama ni mzaa tu hivi ati ni kukimbia hivi hivi. Sisi tunawaangalia, mkirudi tutakuwa tumejua nani alishinda nini. Hata kama hukushinda kabisa, tunaona ulikuwa tayari kabisa vile umeshindana. Tunaendelea kuwasaidia mkitrain kwa sababu 2028 hakuna timu nyingine tunategemea. Ni nyinyi na ndugu zenu wadogo. Wale walishindana juzi, wengi wao watakuwa wamefika umri ya kuweza kuondoka kutoka pengine mashindano fulani. Na kwa hivyo tunawategemea. Na asante General vile umesema, kina Faith, Beatrice, Wanyama, Wanyonyi, I really believe Emmanuel Wanyonyi in our lifetime will reduce that time by the remaining 20 seconds to take Rudisha's record and run maybe 1:40.90, even if it's by 1 minute. But all of these athletes need our personal support, our support as a country, and their coaches and their training camps. Nitatembea Kenya mzima nione penye mna trainia, alafu tuone vile tutasaidiana kuhakikisha hiyo facilities imekuwa mazuri. Nimesema mambo mingi sana kwa sababu ni siku ya kwanza, na hii ni ubaya ya kuwa waziri na kuwa tena fun at the same time. Unaongeza mambo mingi, lakini niko hapa kusema nimefurahi sana. Mkirudi nyinyi mnajua kila mmoja wenu ako na haki. Ukishinda medali ya dhahabu uko na shilingi 1500 yenye inaenda mfuko direct. Ukishinda ya fedha uko na 1350. Ukishinda ile ya shaba uko na 1150. Lakini mimi nataka kusema namna hii, kama waziri yenu, anybody atashinda medali, nitaongeza mimi kivyangu na marafiki yangu kila mtu 1100. Tumeelewana namna hiyo? Sasa mkirudi, mimi nataka tu nione medals ni over 10. Nimekuja hapa, nimesanya kwa hii disciplines ni disciplines ni 800, 1500, 300 flat, 300 steeplechase, 3000 flat, 3000 steeplechase na 5000 na walk race ya 5. Sasa mtuletee tu medals and we'll take care of your interest. Wangapi wenu wako shule? All of you are in school.
Very good.
So, pigia hao makofi. Nani ako form 4? Allah. Pigia hao makofi candidate. We really have to speak with the education ministry to have a clear roadmap for supporting our athletes and sportsmen who are in schools, so that they get proper training and get admission to good courses and colleges where they can continue their education. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much. So the flagging will happen outside. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, asante.
Usisahau kwa gari. Sasa